General Laws, Subcommittee number 3. First one up today in the queue is Delegate Collins. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. This is a straight up liberty and freedom bill. I hope everybody is ready. This is HB 2301.
Do we have a
This
substitute, or you're going on
the
the
substitute. I'm going to ask for the substitute.
Okay.
I was getting ready to do that.
Okay.
There's a substitute for you all for your consideration. Just for the members, the substitute you're seeing now is what passed out of the committee last year and made it to the House floor. No changes have been made from the bill from last year.
Okay, let's get substitute for us. Okay, any discussion on favor of substitute, say aye. Okay, substitute for us, Delegate Collins.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. HB 2301, as it was last year, allows for the consumption and service of beer, wine, and liquor at a cigar shop up to 18 events annually. It additionally defines what a cigar shop is, a bona fide retail store. And just so you know, there's about 67 cigar stores that fall under this definition. And out of that definition, about half are going to be able to serve alcoholic beverage pursuant to this new statute. We also define premium cigars as having a $2 or more retail value, as well as definition of premium tobacco products. And just so everyone knows, the license does restrict to only be able to serve mixed beverages only to bona fide customers, and restricts the size of the drink serving to no more than 2 5-ounce glasses of wine, or 2 12-ounce glasses of beer, or 2 glasses of mixed beverages. Just so everybody knows, I think you might have heard this evidence last year, they're already, to a degree, there's already an ability to do this. We're not creating new law. This simplifies the process for the cigar businesses, as well as increasing the number of events they can have over what current ABC law allows. We have some from the cigar industry here to speak on the bill, and I'm willing to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Okay, Delegate Collins, we've heard this bill last year. Nothing's changed on it. Nobody has changed on this particular committee. So I don't think anyone's probably going to change their vote for whatever it was they did last year.
Is it a patron problem?
Well, we'll find out. So anyways, anyone that's a proponent of this bill who wants to shortly speak to it, please come forward.
Bob Oakey, representing the Cigar Association of Virginia. We've asked for this bill a few years in a row now. We support the bill and ask the subcommittee to please pass it by unanimously as it did last year.
Thank you. You want to pass it by?
Pass it unanimously as it did last year.
Okay.
By unanimous vote, that's what you meant. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and he's for you. Okay. Okay. Anyone in opposition to the bill, please?
Mr. Chairman, Tom Lisk, President of the Virginia Restaurant Lodging and Travel Association, and I join Mr. Oakey asking you to pass it by. We, as every other year, we oppose this bill because outside of the distilleries, this will create the first bar license allowing the service of alcohol, including spirits, without food. So for that reason, we ask you to oppose the bill, even though I can count votes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lisk. Okay, anyone else? Okay, committee, any discussion, or what's your pleasure? Okay, there's a motion and a second to report the substitute. Any discussion? Okay, please cast your vote. Okay, looks like on a 8-0 vote, the measure moves to full committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Delegate Toscano.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. You might remember last time we met, I asked that a substitute be approved and let it be published so that you all could take a look at it. In the take a look at it.
Okay, Delegate Toscano, we voted on the substitute last time, so we
Yes.
have the substitute properly before
That's
us.
right.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll tell you what it does. It enables licensed distilleries in the Commonwealth to manufacture alcoholic beverages containing distilled spirits under 7.5% alcohol by volume, and sell those beverages to distributors in Virginia. There's a definition of low alcohol volume beverage cooler in this bill, and that's what this takes off on. Under Virginia law, well, in other states, distilleries are allowed to manufacture this product. Distilleries in Virginia are not allowed to. So, and for the distilleries out there who are seeking other ways to make money, as well as other people who may want to get involved in this line of work, the incentives are all in other states, not in Virginia. This bill was brought to me by a constituent of mine who's here to speak to it. I think the ABC has gone through the bill, although I don't think they take positions on these bills. I think they'd probably be able to say that this would work all right within the way they do business. So with that, Chairman, that's the bill.
Delegate Toscano, we're talking about licensed distillers, and we're talking about beverage containers.
That's right, two
Okay.
basic things.
Any questions this time for the committee? Okay, anyone here that's a proponent of this measure like to speak, please come forward.
Hi, this is Wilson Craig, and I support this bill as a way for producers in the Commonwealth to be put on an equal and level playing field with producers located out of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I think that this would be good for all distilleries and help producers in the state compete with producers in California that are doing the same thing as we speak.
Thank you, sir. Okay, anyone else? Is there anyone here in opposition to this measure? Okay, Betty? Okay, there's a move to report in a second. Any discussion? Please cast your vote.
Thank you.
Okay, by vote of 8-0, the measure moves to full committee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate Rodman.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Okay, we have House Bill 2179. Okay.
All right, House Bill 2179 would create a license category in the ABC code for co-working spaces. Co-working spaces are a shared office space where entrepreneurs, freelancers, and people who may have worked from home, these individuals can buy a membership and rent an office space. There are 140 co-working spaces in Virginia, providing a variety of people a place to work alongside others in an entrepreneurial environment. By creating an ABC license category for these spaces, this bill will allow local businesses to compete with the national businesses and increase entrepreneurship in the Commonwealth. With me today is Doug White, the owner of Gather, which is here in Richmond and will be opening up another site in Norfolk. And also Allie Greenberg, who owns The Broad, to talk a little bit more about their spaces, and we have others who can support the bill as well.
Okay, any questions, committee, this time? I got a question or two for you. If we have these co-working spaces and we've got people that are co-working in there, and I see your bill says that you can bring up to 4 guests and you can drink alcohol, what happens if you have a big area in here and it's 5 o'clock and some people are working and you've got 30 people in here having drinks and making noise and having a real good time, and some other people are trying to work in there?
Well, I mean, and I think Doug and can talk there. It's set up as actually a lot of the offices are mostly a communal space. There's actually, depending on the setup, most of them are very large communal space, and then they have other offices in the back. So it's sort of meant to be communal because that's part of the entrepreneurship movement, is because people go to these spaces to network, and that's what's been really innovative about these spaces, that people actually rent these spaces so they can network with others. So I think this is in line with the spirit of this exception, is to, sort of for the evolution of the beer business, right? To, expand, the opportunities to network. And I think, we're not selling beer here. There'll be, tasting beer, so it'll be a great way for, young and hip folk to try beer, and so have, an opportunity to meet with others. And so people want to, network at these times. And they already are doing that in the evening hour.
I think Delegate Gilbert has a question.
Of course.
I don't know who this is for, maybe staff. Do you need a license for somebody to come to your office and drink beer if they want to? Like, private
Yeah, if John wants to
private
speak.
space?
It kind of emerged because ABC, maybe we can talk about Australia.
I'm Doug White, the owner of Gather. So if we were a single company and these were all our employees, we could serve beer and wine to them with no problem at all. The fact is they're members and they pay fees. So ABC has said because they pay a fee and beer and wine is an amenity we're offering, we're in effect selling the beer and wine, and you can't sell beer and wine without a license. We asked ABC, what license can we apply for, and they said there isn't. And that's the reason that we put this bill forward, to be able to apply for a license so that we can offer this amenity to our members.
Okay. So sorry to follow up. So what is Gather? I understand the communal concept, but what do you do there? What are your members? They do different things, or they all do the same thing? Or?
No, many of our members are entrepreneurs, small business people. Most are in professional services. We have attorneys, we have CPAs, but people rent office space from us.
Okay.
And that's where they have their office. We do have a communal.
I know why the attorneys need beer, but yeah, I mean, is there? I guess what I'm wondering is why is that part of your services you provide with this communal undertaking, that people can't bring their own beer and wine and imbibe as they see fit?
Well, they certainly can bring their own, but across the country, co-working spaces typically offer beer and wine to their members. It's a part of our mission, which is to bring people together. So we would.
Beer and wine do that.
They do. People get together for a beer at the end of the workday. Before we realized that this was not something we could do, we had taps open at our locations for about 4 years. And, occasionally you'd see one or two people getting a beer at the end of the day, sitting down, chatting, connecting. That's what happened. But there's never any problem or anything that was excessive.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman. Delegate Morgan, do you have a question?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, a question for the gentleman. So earlier you made a comment that ABC stated that by collecting the fees, in essence, you are you're selling them alcohol. This may be a question for Delegate Gilbert or staff, but technically couldn't you just give them alcohol?
Well, we indeed did give it to them, but because we're charging membership fees, ABC and this is an amenity that goes to members, ABC interpreted that as we're selling alcohol.
Mr. Chairman, is that a company policy that you provide alcohol as a part of their membership?
It's one of the amenities that we would like to be able to provide to our members, as co-working spaces do across the country.
No, sure. No, is it currently a written, adopted policy within your organization?
Well, it has been. When ABC told us this past summer that we were not allowed to do it, we took that down off of our website because obviously we stopped. And then we pursued this legislation to allow us to purchase a license going forward.
Mr. Chairman, speak to the board.
Okay, let's have anyone, if the proponent that wishes to speak to this bill, please come forward.
Hi, I'm Allie Greenberg. I'm the founder of the Bras, or co-working spaces, and I am all for it. That's great. And to your earlier question, as far as some people are working, some people might be also trying to hang out, they're all adults and they can figure it out and don't disturb one another if they are partaking later on. And also, we provide coffee. People like to wake up with coffee. They like to say goodbye with a beer, and that's pretty standard.
this bill, would like to speak?
And Yale, Executive Director of the Virginia Assembly of Independent Baptists. And it's not because I'm a Baptist that I'm opposed to this bill. I'm just really curious at how we are supposed to stay sober while we're going through and doing all this work. And I'm not, again, I know people can make their own choices, but this just sounds like something that is just ready to create havoc. And we're creating in my opinion, a bar setup. Where's the food? Is there food going to be served? I'm a little confused. And again, I know free choice, but this sure does make it sound like it's a bar setup.
Eddie, I appreciate your comments. I noticed in the law that they're proposing, they can only have 2 5-ounce glasses of wine or 2 12-ounce glasses of beer. So as far as, going a little bit overboard, the state doesn't want to sanction anything to get you over that limit. That's why we put limits in the code on this.
And I do appreciate that, Mr. Chairman. I do appreciate that. I'm concerned, who's going to be monitoring all this? Do we have somebody monitoring in the area? So, that's just my biggest concern.
Okay.
You understand. Thank you so much, though.
Thank you. Okay, committee, delegate, Amir.
I have a question for the patron or this. So just for clarification for me, there's nothing that prevents someone right now in a work co-op setting. You have 4 or 5 tenants, that individual business that is running there to provide beer and wine to their employees, correct? So nothing, what we're talking about is essentially you create the co-op, you have 4 or 5 tenants that are running there and they have a pod of, I'm trying to get a picture of what this is, 4 or 5 employees maybe in each tenant, they have a lease agreement with you. So there's nothing that prevents them, but what you want to be able to, you want to provide this service to those individuals collectively, saying, hey, we have 4 or 5 individuals. Okay, I have a clear picture now. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Okay, committee, any discussion or what's your pleasure? Okay, there's a motion to report duly seconded. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Okay. By a vote of 6 to 2, your measure moves to full
Thank
committee.
you very much.
Thank you. And since we just got done talking about some of the attributes of beer, I would certainly like to recognize the beer wholesalers in the state of Virginia. I see you sitting down here and lined up against the walls and everything. If you just raise your hand one time, I'd like to recognize all of you and thank you very much for adding to the economic stimulus of the state of Virginia. Is Delegate Fowler here? No? Delegate Hurst?
Mr. Chairman. Members of the subcommittee, before you is House Bill 2634, which would make changes to the way that we currently allow for mixed beverage licenses and for local referendums to permit liquor by the drink, essentially flipping Virginia's ABC policy so that all counties that are in would be wet by default rather than dry by default as they are now. The problem that this is seeking to address is really twofold. One is by concerns that were raised last year when I introduced legislation that sought to amend another part of Title 41124 that Delegate Gilbert made last year, which is essentially that Christmas tree part of the language that this subcommittee has already dealt with earlier in session, trying to make sure that we don't continue to add more ornaments onto an already very burdensome tree, and really circumventing the law that is already prescribed in other areas. The second is that I think that when you have 31 counties in Virginia right now that are either dry or partially dry, as defined by ABC, I think it's a real hindrance to the economic development of those areas to be able to have entertainment, restaurant, and other options for establishments to serve alcohol in a way that could lead to, again, part of the overall mix to help revitalize parts of the Commonwealth that still are struggling to be redeveloped. So all counties and cities of Virginia have establishments that sell wine or beer, but currently law prohibits establishments in dry or partially dry counties from selling or serving mixed beverage drinks, liquor by the drink. So for a dry county to become partially dry, they must pass a referendum in part of that county, say a town or a city, or get that carved out that we've already dealt with in another part of Title 4.1 to get a mixed beverage license via the General Assembly. So due to the way in which those legislative exemptions are, 4.1.126, it sometimes can be very difficult to determine where the exception is being granted, and depending on how the exemption is described, it can change over time. Currently, there are over 30 exceptions listed in that Christmas tree code section, and should House Bill 2634 pass, it's also important to note that the Virginia ABC would be opening new stores with anticipated revenue of about $400,000 annually and creating 20 new jobs in those areas that are previously unserved right now, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So basically what you're doing here is you're changing two words in the code from permitted to prohibited, which is an opt-out. And it looks to me like, if I read it correctly, you have a delayed enactment clause on this to July 1 of 2020.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions at this point from the committee? Okay. Anyone here that's proponent of this measure wishes to speak, please come forward.
Just briefly, Mr. Chairman, Tom List, representing the Virginia Restaurant Lodge and Travel Association. We support this measure because we think it promotes fair competition in the Commonwealth. In all of these dry counties in Virginia, you have establishments who have received special legislative permission to have liquor by the drink. So what you have is a situation where one or two establishments, maybe a hotel, maybe a country club, has full liquor privileges, and every other restaurant in that county, every other hotel in that county is limited to only beer and wine. So we think that's an unfair competitive situation that could be corrected here. You already have 31 exceptions to liquor by the drink with mixed beverage referendum. 4 more exceptions are pending on the House floor, bring 35. We think those exceptions are swallowing the rules. And so time has come, over 50 years after passage of liquor by the drink, we go ahead and reverse the presumption. So we support the measure.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Ross Farag on behalf of the Distilled Spirits Council of the U.S. Very supportive of alcohol parity in this bill, so thank you.
Thank you. Anyone here wishes to speak in opposition to this measure? Yes, sir.
Eddie Allen, Executive Director, Virginia Symphony Independent Baptist, and just on behalf of my pastors, they like the situation the way it is, but we understand what you're trying to accomplish, and I have complained on and on about these carve-outs. This is a fix, we just don't like it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, committee discussion? Motions? There's a motion to report and a second. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Vote rehearsed by a vote of 8-0 to measure moves to full committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the subcommittee.
Chairman Peace?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I have a substitute that council will distribute to House Bill 2013. And this bill may be a little familiar. Remember last year we kind of let the Senate take the lead on defining confectionery. And after the bill was passed and implemented and July 1st came around, those who were interested in this burgeoning product space ran into some challenges with ABC, and so this is a fix to those challenges.
Everyone's had a chance to look at substitute.
And I'll go through the substitute.
Someone move the substitute. Any objection? Okay, substitute force.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. On page 3 of the substitute, you'll see an updated definition for confectionery. I've been approached by folks from the Virginia Beach area who want to do milkshakes. Obviously, we talked about cupcakes last year. There is someone else in the Richmond region that is looking at doing jellies. So we are accommodating those in the new definition. Fast forward, page 15, you'll see additional language. The bill last year limited to off-premise consumption. And so what we found is one of these licensees was manufacturing and selling their cupcakes, and people had to go pick them up and take them home before they could consume them. So we're going to fix that there. And then another addition on page 17, language in the 438 line region, and then a companion paragraph dealing with the same on page 18, wine and beer. Essentially what can happen if you envision this is someone could make a butter pecan ice cream with reservoir, excuse me, I take that back. Someone could make a cupcake with Ardent beer, and then that cupcake with Ardent's beer could be sold in the Ardent shop. It seems to make some sense. So it's just a byproduct, if you will, or collateral product of that beer or wine. There is a line amendment I'd like to add to the substitute that would make sure we include all wineries, so it's not just farm wineries, because we have all breweries. Is that correct, Jessica? And I want to thank Tom List for also working with me on this. I think you may want to speak to the bill. I sent each of you, because we kind of have a rule of displaying things and putting things up on the screen, but when I was in South Carolina over the New Year's holiday, I found a little standard that showed like a Dove ice cream bar that had been infused. So that's sort of where we want to go in these other product categories. So you have that on your notes. I'm happy to share with anybody who wants to see it.
Jessica, would you read us line item, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. On line 381 of the substitute, after 2A, insert winery license pursuant to subdivision 1 of section 4.1-207, comma A. On line 384, after such, insert winery. And then on line 407, after issued by the board, insert comma, and Romanet 4, sell at retail at the place of business designated in the license, confectionery containing wine manufactured by the licensee for on-premise consumption in closed containers for off-premise consumption. And as Delegate Peace mentioned, that just allows it to be done by wineries and farm wineries, breweries and licensed farm breweries.
It has to be their product only.
So, can I have a motion on the line amendments?
Move the line amendments.
Okay, any questions on line amendments? All in favor, say aye. Okay, line amendments, the substitute with line amendments, which are now enforced properly. Okay, is there, do you have anyone here that wishes to speak? Or anyone is in opposition?
I don't want to, Mr. Chairman, to avoid the Virginia Beer Wholesalers Association, I don't want to classify it as opposition. What I will state is this is the first time I've seen a substitute, and I will say some of the language is new to us and does give some concerns related to the three-tier system. And, you know, there may be some exceptions to the three-tier system, but I'd like to actually get back with my membership and look at it and consult with them. We're talking about some new issues specifically on page 15, that new language. It's retail sales, which is something that historically this committee has not looked favorably on. You know, there may be an exception that we're willing to discuss, but it being the first time that I've seen this, I really can't articulate it.
I'll tell you how we'll probably handle this is if the measure moves forward, then somebody, maybe me, will throw up a red vote so we can discuss it again in full general laws, and if that's the case, if you have a concern, we'll have an opportunity to look at it again.
Okay, we'll do it
So you can have an opportunity between now and full general laws to look at it, and we'll give you an opportunity to speak then. Okay. Okay. Anyone else here to speak on this matter? Okay, committee, what's your pleasure? Okay, there's a motion and a second to report the amended substitute. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Okay, by a vote of 7-1, it moves to full committee. Thank you, Chairman. And trying to get Delegate Fowler in here, but Delegate Fowler told me that he understood that on his bill, it was probably going to be, yes, but he asked me, it was going to be probably studied. And Delegate Fowler, I apologize for getting that, but if I could have a motion to strike Delegate Fowler's bill, then we'll probably study it. Okay, any discussion? Okay, please cast your vote on striking the bill for adoption. By a vote of 8-0, the bill is stricken.
All right, Delegate Knight, you have a bill.
Yes, sir. I believe I've got a substitute.
All those in favor of adopting the substitute that's being distributed, say aye. Those opposed, the substitute is adopted.
Mr. Chairman, House Bill 2367 talks about delivery permittees on delivering beer and wine. And if you were to call up a local pizza establishment and say, I would like to have a pizza, please bring me a six-pack along the way, or a small little bit of wine, or if you call your local Kroger grocery store or such, it said, please deliver my groceries, and put me some beer and wine there also, that's a delivery permittee. What it says is delivery permittee shall keep records of at least 2 years that show the brands of wine and beer sold, show the total quantities sold, and the signatures of the purchasers. And these signatures may be in electronic form. And you shall keep and remit monthly records of all deliveries and collect and remit all taxes due to the Commonwealth if these taxes have not already been paid. And Mr. Chairman, that's what my bill does.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the patron? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor of the bill, come forward.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tom Lisk, representing the Virginia Restaurant Lodging and Travel Association. This bill actually improves the regulatory situation that was created in 2007 when the legislature authorized delivery permits. So increasing number of off-premise retailers, grocery stores, convenience stores, as well as on-premise restaurants have gotten into the business of delivering alcohol with food to consumers. We see it with Olive Garden, we see it with Red Lobster, Pizza Hut, we see it with Target and Kroger and lots of other grocers. And right now, under Virginia law, the retailer is supposed to send to ABC each month a list of every single Virginian who received a delivery of alcohol, what they purchased, how much they paid for, what products they bought. That is an onerous burden on retailers. It creates a paperwork nightmare, I think, for the ABC board. Because the retailers